So you want to play some co-op with your friend? Well, you have a couple of options in the game of Outward. First of all, you can do split screen co-op. Now you can start the game that way by picking 2 players, or you can go ahead if you don't have a player ready and you want to go ahead and start playing, do the 1 player and somebody can hop in later. Now there's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video as far as how the co-op works. There is another option that is online co-op, and I want to kind of talk about what that entails and how it works. So if you pick 1 player, you start playing the game, then a friend, you want to join, online, wherever they are, and they join in on your game, they can take their character and they can join your game. So what you want to do is, if you're the one hosting it, in other words, you want to bring that person into your world, into where you're playing at, then you would create a new online game so your friends can find you, and I'll show you how to do that in the video. Now for the other person who's trying to join your game, they're going to go down to join game and they're going to put in whatever you called it, and that will automatically put them in your world, and that's all there is to it. Now if you both got your own separate campaigns going, it's a great idea, in my opinion, if you take your character over to their world, you help them out, because even though the game claims to get more difficult, more enemies can be there, etc., 2-player is definitely easier than 1-player, because one person can kind of distract the enemy while the other person runs up and just stabs them and hits them in the back or casts on them or whatever. So it is much easier to play 2-player. So getting a friend on to help you through a difficult part is definitely recommended. However, here's some things people don't like. So only the person whose world it is going to be continuing moving the story forward, doing quests, things like that. The other person is just a guest in that world, helping them out. However, anything that guest gets while in the person's world, they can bring that back with them. So when you end the multiplayer session, the person will return back to where they were in their world, and they'll still have all the gear, the silver, whatever they collected while they were guesting in their friend's world. Now, so everybody gets a benefit out of that. So what I recommend is you jump on your friend's game, you help them, they jump on your game, they help you, and you play back and forth in each other's world. And if you each pick a different faction, that way you're headed in different zones and you're doing different things, and the other person can vicariously see what it's like in a different faction, etc., etc. It makes it a lot of fun. But that's how the co-op works in this game. It's not very complicated at all, really. But I was happy. At first I didn't think I was going to be able to bring my stuff back with me to my game. I thought I was just helping them out, and I was like, well, we'll test it, and if I don't get to keep my stuff, then I'll drop it all on the ground. That's the other thing. You can trade with the other player by dropping whatever it is, even silver, onto the ground, and that allows the other player to pick it up and keep it. So if you're just there to help and you don't need the loot, you can give it all to them. And if you're just there, like you're, a lot more advanced and you're helping them get the game started, etc., then that's an option as well. Now, as far as how far apart can you go in co-op, well, as long as you're in the same zone and you haven't had to load, and out in the world the zones are really big, so as long as you're in the same zone, you're okay. Now, you can't go to another area where you have to load in, like walking into the city or walking into another zone, unless the other character is there as well, and you can both go together. Now, as far as playing with split screen, you have to play split screen only. There is no support for doing multi-monitors on the one device. However, online co-op would allow you to have multiple monitors. That's what me and my wife are doing. We're in the same house. We got 2 copies of the game just so we can play on our own monitor and play together. There's no matchmaking at all. I would also like to mention the only way to get in each other's group is to either split screen co-op, which you can do in the middle of the game. You can just go to, if you start as a 1-player and so your friend comes over, wants to hop on the game, you can switch over and add them into the game, creating a new character, whatever the case may be. And so that means with the online and with the split screen, there is drop in and drop out co-op, so you can play it when it's available and go back to your single player when the other person isn't available. Now, they do claim that the enemies get more difficult with 2 players. But overall, guys, I'm telling you, it's definitely easier with 2 players. I promise, it really is. Even if there's a little bit of a difficulty curve added to it, having 2 people is definitely going to give you a big jump on the world. Now, as far as sleeping and things like that, a lot of people have asked me that. You cannot sleep in the same tent or bed. You do have to have separate ones, and one person can't sleep without the other one, obviously, because time's going to jump forward, and they have to be able to handle that. So both people have to go to sleep. And if you notice in the house, right there at the lighthouse at the beginning, there are 2 beds up there. But as far as tents and bed rolls, things like that out in the wild, you do both need that. You can't just use one. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that you can find your friend if you guys separate by using the compass. They'll show up as a big dot up there on the compass, so you guys can get back together if you do become lost, and that definitely happens when you have to scatter due to a really high mob or monster trying to kill you, and you end up running away and then you get split up, that kind of thing. So it is easy to find and get back together and find each other. Now, if your friend dies in the game, they go into an unconscious state. However, if you can get back to them, then you can hold Y and actually be able to recover them, bring them back to life. They'll have very low health, obviously, when they come back, but that's another huge benefit to multiplayer, is that you can bring your friends back. So as long as one of you survives, they can come back or sneak back or what have you, wait for the enemy to walk away and come back and bring you back to life. And as far as I can tell, there's no time limit to that, so just playing carefully and be careful, and you can definitely get a huge leg up in the world just from that mechanic alone. And of course, I've kind of already answered it, but a lot of people ask, can we share things? You can. So if you pick up something, your friend wants it or needs it or whatever, you just drop it on the ground, it'll be laying there, and the other person can pick it up. So that's how that works. So that is a very basic guide to how co-op works, guys. It's a lot of fun. If you're struggling in the game, it definitely helps to get someone on to help you out and get through that. Even if they're not skilled, to be honest, just having another person there and, kind of leading them, saying, all right, I'm going to hold the mob, I'm going to tank it, I guess you could say, and they come up behind it and they hit it a couple times in the back. It really helps, and it really definitely makes a big difference when you're out in the world and you get surrounded by more than one enemy, but there's more than one of you. So that's what I got, guys. I hope that helped you out. I know a lot of people had a lot of questions about how the co-op works or whatever, and I didn't see any other videos or any other information really out there answering these key questions. So I thought I would touch on that, explain how to set up co-op, how it works basically, and enjoy it, guys. This is a really fun game, especially for like an old school RPG player. That little bit of mix of survival type mechanics really made this game really stand out and be something really cool. I do have a video coming up very soon, which will be some adventures that I've had in Outward, especially in the co-op, because we've had a ton of blasts. Me and my wife Whintur playing through Outward. We've had so much fun, and soon I'll be sharing that with you once I have enough content I feel would make a really great video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and help me out. You can also become a member. If you look down below, you can become a member of the channel, get some perks. In the meantime, guys, have fun playing Outward, and until next time, God bless and happy gaming. Please listen to what I say. I've been making videos all day. My friends all say I'm it's a video buffet. You can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize, but please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.